Hey everybody, we got some of that fine blue ribbon ice cream. So what'd you guys do today? I'm on the backside of my cold. Like my voice is gone, but like it sounds worse than it actually is. Like my throat's no longer sore, and like I don't have a stuffy head or like a headache or a fever or anything. Like I even shaved. Like see, I shaved, cleaned myself up. Been trying. I've been trying to like repair everything that the last week has happened, other than being fat. Because whatever. I'm always probably gonna be fat, but like I tried to cleaned up the office a little bit, shaved myself up, tried to clean the house because we kind of let the house go a little bit this last week because me and Kelly been basically sick. Well, thank you, the real mid. I'm hoping like we're supposed to be shooting a episode of the Locale podcast today, unless something goes wrong. I could hit my boy Boogies with the questions. I need to watch the Charlie video because I know they want us to talk about the Moist Critical video on Boogie. Because like I looked at the Moist Critical video on Boogie, and I noticed it had 3 million views. I'm like, how the fuck does this guy's like opinion of the documentary have more views than the documentary? It's like that's just some power. Why does Boogie always play the victim? I mean, I used the spoon to try to get the ice cream. It kind of bit on me. Um, the um, the reason Boogie always plays the victim, and I get this too. Like yesterday was a in my opinion, was a shit day for me because like I was not mentally there. Like I always say, like I'm undiagnosed bipolar because some days I'm ready to tear the world down, fuck everything. And other days I'm hopeful and optimistic and shit like that. That's just who I am as a person, right? I feel like if I was to be active and work out and actually have human interaction, a lot of that would go away. But I think a lot of that is from having to deal with this as long as I have. Like, this is my 16th year of basically sitting in this room looking at these fucking cameras. Yeah, it is what it is. But regardless, Boogie is the way he is from trauma, honestly. Like, Boogie is a fun, like, charismatic person that loves a fucking tension. Like, he loves it negative, he loves it positive. Boogie loves when people talk about him. And he's probably a good bit of a narcissist, right? Like, I can't even say he's a little bit. Like B, I got a little narcissism. Boogie got a lot of narcissism, right? So Boogie loves attention no matter how he gets it. The only problem with that is Boogie built his whole brand on being like the fence sitting nice guy that controlled all content that came out there. And then he started streaming. And once he started streaming, it kind of fell down. And Boogie said something to me on the documentary. And I want to ask him about it. Because I said, yo, why don't you stream to try to make some more money? And he said, and I know why he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it because he doesn't want the negative outlook come with it. But the same effect is like, if you're not going to do things to save your fucking house, why not sell it now while it still has value instead of like wait until it falls off the fucking market? Then he discovered the N word. I never see Boogie as a person that wants to like just say the N word. I'm sure he does stuff that be shocking, right? But like, I like Boogie's by no means only used me blade. Hey, Knowles. Well, if Boogie would have listened to me, he'd still have $650,000 in his fucking account. You remember a couple years ago when everybody's like, get Bitcoin this, NFT that, Bitcoin this, NFT that. Where the fuck are they now? Every Bitcoin that I know of, or every coin that I know of, was a pump and dump. Like every single one of them. Like there's what, six like big like internet celebrities that are tied to like pump and dump Bitcoins. Don't even get me started with like NFT shit. Like that shit's trash too. Neapolitan. It's Blue Ribbon. It's the only brand that my local food line was selling in gallon form. Like when I first got sick, my throat was really sore, and I wanted something that would like coat my throat, and like ice cream is great for that. Oh, what's my favorite Simpson quote? I'm looking for Amanda. Last name Hug and Kiss. Okay. Well, I enjoy it, and it's never killed me. Are you saying like Becky, as in like Beck from like Blade? Like the unattractive things about uh like Blade's Beck is how she treats her kids and how she abandons her kids. But that's usually just signs of like a person dealing with some sort of addiction. Like I don't know a lot about her, but just some of the actions that she's taken screams that she's like goes to the methadone clinic or some shit like that. Like a lot of it screams heroin, but she's an addict of some sort. Um, like physically, she's not ugly. She's weathered, but she's weathered because she's obviously been on drugs at some point in her life. But I wouldn't say she's ugly. I mean, like if you consider like Beck ugly, what I have some women to show you. I mean, like I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I mean, like your perception of beauty can't just be the Photoshop girls in like Sports Illustrated. Dude, I could. This is simple. You go to Google and you type in ugly women and you hit enter and then you click this images bar and like it's unfair a lot of this because most of this is just some type of like either they've had some type of traumatic injury or they have some kind of like physical disability or some of it's just Photoshop, right? I don't want to show it on stream, but just put ugly women in Google. Like or go to Walmart. I mean, you'll see some ugly women at Walmart. No need for Google G. I look in the mirror. Well, I don't want to show like. Here's the thing, right? I don't want to show ugly women because I looked it up on Google, and like a lot of that popped up was just people with some type of physical disability, right? And like if I put that up there, somebody will be like, "Oh, look, Wings is making fun of disabled people." Hey, Joey, before you spread it, Blaze Girl Beck does love you, pimp. Pyrotechnics. As a person that's dealt with, you might not know this about me, Pyrotechnics, but like my grandmother used to sell opioids, and she did it her entire life. And I've seen every type of like pain pill heroin addict you can see. And I'm not trying to say Beck is on heroin, but she's walking towards the Rainbow Bridge on that on that area. Like she's 100% on something. I'd bet the house on it. And we had a $20 donation. By the way, thank you for the $5, Pyrotechnics. JH, thank you, dude, for the 20. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. No, I would not leave Kelly for Beck. Kelly's a whole different level of woman than Beck is. First off, I couldn't respect a woman that does some of the things with her children like Beck does. Like if I'm with a woman that has kids and she ready to pawn her kids off on like her parents or like throw them away to go hang out on a fucking RV with a bunch of dudes sitting there drinking and smoking drugs and shit like that. No, that's not the play at all. Like that's not the foundation of a good woman. Love you, ain't gotta be real. Getting a guy ice cream from a sore throat instead of cough drops is the fattest thing I've heard in a minute. Hey, it hits two birds with one stone. It lets me be fat, and it fixes the throat. Speaking of drugs, I put a thing out there on Twitter. I don't know how well it did on Twitter, but or X, you know. But I wonder since fucking Elon Musk put X on there, I wonder how many dudes have gotten caught like looking at like X hamster or like XXX video or some shit like that by their wives while trying to go visit the fucking Twitter. But regardless, I put on X that I'm wondering if Tyson Fury is on cocaine again. Cause like all like the signs are starting to show, and like people disagreeing with me. Because just the Deontay Wilder fight set him up for life, right? Like Tyson Fury at this point in his life has generational wealth. Like he got paid 50 million for the Francis Ngannou fight. He's slotted to make 200 million coming up in the Usyk unification bout. Right? There's obviously going to be another Francis Ngannou fight back on the back end of it. But my issue with all this is why is Tyson Fury being so hard up on this fucking money, right? When you have amassed $500 million in fucking prize fighting money, why are you still like avoiding fights because of like small percentages on the ticket? Like Tyson Fury didn't want to take the Usyk fight because Usyk wanted 60-40 and Tyson wanted 70-30, right? You realize that Usyk has the majority of the belts, right? Tyson's the lineal heavyweight champion, and he also has the WBC belt. But Usyk has all the other ones. Like, why does Usyk have to take 30% of the fucking of the purse to get the fight happening, where you get 70%? Like, to me, it seems like he's blowing money and he's doing it on drugs. And like, this is conspiracy theory here, and like, I'm this is do not look at this as fact, but there's not a 0% chance that the reason Tyson Fury did so poorly against Francis Ngannou is because he was in withdrawals from cocaine for like the last week and a half to try so he could test clean to have the fight. He also went into the fight at his heaviest, so his camp couldn't have been that well. He said he had a 12-week camp, but he came in heavier than he did on the last Wilder fight. Like, all the signs saying that he's slipping back into drugs. How's the chair holding up? Can we get a squeak test? Pretty squeaky. Pretty squeaky. Thank you for the $2, man. Bale, love you, wings. Gotta be real. Oh, yeah, got an ice cream. Thank you for the $5, Bale. Fury looked in his best shape. No. Fury looked in his best shape in the second Wilder fight. Like, the second Wilder fight, Deontay Wilder didn't have a chance. He got mauled. Like, Fury went in there looking like he was the best heavyweight champion of all fucking time. Like, he could have beat, fucking Muhammad Ali and George Foreman on the same night in their prime. Like, he went in there looking good. Third fight, he looked good too, but he didn't look as sharp as he did in the second fight. And I'm going to adjust that to, Wilder making adjustments, because Wilder is a heavyweight champion. Right? So you can't take anything from Wilder. But, like, since he fought Deontay Wilder, who did he fought? Derek Chisora on the back end of his career. Dillian White. Like, he's fought nobody. Like, not to say Derek Chisora or Dillian White aren't good people, like, but Dillian White's always had drug issues, and Derek Chisora was good 15 years ago. White, I think that has a lot to do with it too, man. I honestly do. Like, Fury couldn't use his weight against him. Like, Fury usually wears people out by, like, putting his weight against people and, like, pushing them around and doing dirty boxing. And Francis was having none of that shit. Like, every time he'd get on him, hell, he hit him with a fucking elbow, like a 12-6 elbow, just wham! Right down on his fucking nose. And Nagano was like another day at the fucking office. He didn't even flinch, that motherfucker, dude. Where can I donate without YouTube taking a cut from me? You can't, Max. I'm sorry. Like, it's the only way I can accept donations is through YouTube. But thank you for the $5. I delete streams, Bell. Like, I don't delete them all. Just ones where, like I deleted the last one because of, like, the dude that was saying the N-word all the time in the Rainbow session. I just don't want that on my channel. Anthony Joshua turned down a fight with Ngannou. Honestly, I think Wilder beats Anthony Joshua too. Oh, dude. Well, damn, Max. Thank you for the $100. All right, guys, that's the stream. Max, thank you for the $105, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Max. I actually just got on tonight because I wanted to talk to people, because, like, I am so tired of fucking video games. Like, I don't know. Like I didn't have a rainbow team tonight, so I was like, all right, what am I gonna do to sit here all by myself? Dude, appreciate that, Max, dude, from the bottom of my heart. What do you recommend? Are we getting older or video games aren't good anymore? I think mine is I'm overindulged. Like I need to like step back and just not play video games for like a month. I think that's what I need. I think I just need a break from them. Right? Because the last time I actually got into a video game, like got into a video game, was Dead Space Remastered. Like where I had, that feeling where like you everything about the game encompasses you. Like when you're not playing the game, you're thinking about playing the game. And then on the other end of that rainbow, that only lasted 20 hours. Because like I beat the game like 6 times. I did 2 different Let's Plays of it. One which is on my channel, which was like a live stream. Another which I recorded one. And I did another Let's Play to prepare for that Let's Play, where I went in and like wrote down all the enemy encounters. I played through the area 2 or 3 times to try to see if any deviation of the enemies and stuff like that. I need a break from the buffet too. What is your picture? Is your picture my weigh-in? But I felt like I played the game 100 hours, but at the end of the day, I only played it 21 hours. I don't know. Blackout deleted his Twitter and removed me on PlayStation again and just disappeared. If I need money so bad, why not stream daily? I do try to stream daily. I don't hate the Wings 007, man. I mean, like, you look at him and, like, I pity the dude more than I hate him. Like, I find it hard to hate people. Please don't ignore me again, Papa Wings. I got you, Matt. The Low Cow podcast is coming. Like, well, we should get Phil on as a guest, but like the problem with getting Phil on as a guest is Phil wants to be in control of everything. And like I can promise you this. Like if Phil was to come on the Low Cow podcast, it wouldn't be a hit piece like Side Scrollers. Like Side Scrollers did Phil dirty. Hey Doug, weren't you here just yesterday? Yeah, my nose is dripping right now. You know what I learned the other day? And this is gonna sound sketch as fuck. But during like slave times, before they sent slaves into the ships, there was this building in Africa that they used to like house slaves to kind of like prep them before they sent them over the water. And they would starve them to make sure they were a certain weight. And the only way that they guaranteed that they were a certain weight, because they didn't have like scales and shit like this, is they had this like cast iron like door that only if you weighed a certain amount you could fit through. That's how they guaranteed that they could stick as many slaves on the ship as humanly possible to travel across the sea. And I'm like, dog, humans are piles of fucking dicks. Like, how can you do this to a person? Let's see. Matt, hey Wings, my friends, I love your streams. We reference you all the time. What's your Matt? What do you reference the most out of me? You know what's funny about all this is we have more slaves right now in the world than we did during the transatlantic slavery market. How did Boogie get tricked by a random Twitter user to hand over all the podcast to him? He's a fool. No. First off, he's not a random Twitter user. Like, I'll clear this up myself. Like, here's the issue, right? There's two people called the Games Attorney, right? There's the guy, Kyle Morrison, which was with, like, what's his face? The other guy with the podcast. I forgot his name. And then there was the guy, me. Like, the Games Attorney I was dealing with was one of the guys that helped me get in touch with people at YouTube. He helped me solidify my channel. He helped me get innards and stuff like that to help protect my channel from getting took down on YouTube. Right, yeah, H3. Thank you, John. And they both go by the same as the Games Attorney because, like, because I don't know about the other guy, but the guy I talk with is an actual, like, Digital Millennium copyright attorney. God, my nose is fucking up right now. I don't. I'd have to look up what Zionism even is. What is Zionism? A movement for originally reestablished and now developed protection of the Jewish nation. Now it's Israel. Like, why does that have anything to do with H3? I just don't want, like, the Games Attorney that we dealt with to be drugged through the mud because the guy's a good dude, right? I don't know any ulterior motives he has. He's never done me wrong. He's done nothing but help me out, and I'm not gonna sit on the sideline and be like, yo, this person's bad because he did nothing wrong to us. He just had control of things that Keem didn't want him to have control of, so we had to hit the restart mark. That's it. That's it. Yeah, Keemstar's back in. Like, Muda was in, and I don't know what's happening right there because, like, some ordinary gamer was going to be helping us on the back end of this, is like with like recording and stuff like that. And apparently, him and Boogie don't like each other, and I don't know why. So, like, that I haven't completely caught up. Why am I ignoring your question? I didn't ignore your question. I stream as often as I know how to be entertaining, and, like, sometimes my streams aren't even entertaining then. Ask Boogie why he's dating a 20-year-old girl. I know why Boogie's dating a 20-year-old girl. I don't need to ask him. But I'll ask him for you. I'll ask him for you, all right? I gotta talk to Boogie because, like, that's good content, right? Why share this shit on Twitter when you could be like, oh yeah, you know, some ordinary game talk shit about my girlfriend. You want to see my reaction? Wait, check out this week's locale podcast. Hey Matt, can't take this shit no more. I don't have to fight Blade. Blade's his own worst enemy. Rara, let me go look, man. I didn't see it. It didn't go through Rara because like Little Dick Dean, Max donated. Little Dick Dean, Max donated. Like I have no donation from you, my man. But I answer your question anyway if you want to send it. Also, if you hate games, have you thought about just doing other remote work? There's other options for when you're not streaming. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. But my biggest issue is like I kind of want to leave a house. Like if I was going to get another form of income, I want it to be something where I don't have to be in this chair. Right? That's the biggest issue. Like I miss having friends outside of like the internet. Like I miss interacting with people at times. Dude, controllers cost too much fucking money to smash. Like I broke the only controller I had that wasn't working correctly. I was asking why is COD so fast paced nowadays? Like the old Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4 were perfect. Why can't they get it right again? I'm gonna answer your question with a straw man, but it's gonna be long winded, Rar. There's a term that Trump used that said "Make America Great Again," and a lot of people will point out how this is kind of an offensive term because at what point did you think America was great? Right? Was it during Jim Crow? Was it during the times that we put like Asian people in concentration camps in World War II? Was it the 50s and 60s after we had bombed all the European countries and destroyed their abilities to make cars, factories, steel, cut them off from most of the world where America was prosperous and everybody had to buy from American companies because we had the only infrastructure in place. Like, what point do you want to go back to? That was so great. All right. So, America can be great, but like, we're not doing a good job at it. Well, I'm probably not going to get to that point, John. But it's just like the Palestine thing right now. Like far right wing people right now are very happy with the whole Israel Palestine and how it's going. Right? The far right evangelical Christians that are always going to support the Bible's Holy Land. Sorry. But the left wing kind of don't know what to do, and like I'm what you call an independent liberal. I tend to skew more left, and like I think it's fucked up to see children getting hit with 500-pound bombs, right? And like it sucks that you can't have this opinion because of terrorists, which I hate the term terrorist, but I'm gonna use the term terrorist here to be general, right? The IDF and Hamas are both dicks. That's the end of it, right? Hamas is a product of oppression from the Israel government, and the Israel government is a product of religion, and it will basically, use every power in its thing to create cultural genocide, because like Hamas is like 10,000 people fighting out of the trenches of like hospitals and churches and refugee camps and shit like that, and they're shitty fucking people for like using civilians as cover. And it's even worse is Israel Instead of being the bigger superpower that they are in this situation, right? You have a literal country that's capable of fighting other complete countries with entirely different GDPs, fighting a small ragtag militia in a very small section of their country. And instead of taking its time and being surgical and making smart bombs actually be smart, they'll bomb a fucking refugee camp. Twice. They'll destroy convoys with medicine in hopes that they might have had medicine that protect the Hamas fighters, right? Like, the real people that suffer are the Palestinian civilians, right? They're the ones that are getting killed 10-1, right? And they're the ones where children, like, you see like a 7-year-old girl with her leg blown the fuck off, right? This is Grayson, by the way. And I look at this as like, why is my tax money funding this cultural genocide? Because to me, it looks like America is helping fund a second Holocaust. Outside looking in. And how this pertains to fucking modern warfare. The point I'm trying to make is Call of Duty's always been fast-paced. It's always been full of shit. Remember when Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4 remake happened, and everybody started complaining about the M16 to the point that they jumped out of the game like somebody farted in a fucking phone booth. Modern Warfare 4 always had M16 problems, but when you were 8 years old, you didn't give a fuck about it. World at War had an MP40 problem. Advanced Warfare had a bow problem, then later a speakeasy. Every Call of Duty game had an issue, right? This is why I always say Black Ops 3 might be the best one. Black Ops 3 and Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion, are the epitome of those games. World at War was not perfect. I'm trading in dangerous waters. I'm not trading in dangerous waters. I'm saying my opinion that America should be, first off, America should be more critical of bombing civilians, right? Because America does that shit too. But like, we shouldn't be over here pretending like the shit's not happening when they're like blowing up fucking hospitals. And you be like, look, we're giving you all this shit, but you got to do this better. You can't be like bombing refugee camps to get one person. You're killing 500 people to get one. Because like if you don't give them that talk, it makes you look like you're just funding, a cultural genocide. And like, I don't want to be there, and there's no way I can stop being there, right? Because like 3 out of 12 months of every year, every dollar that I earn pays for that. Taxes, right? If you add your taxes up, taxes generally for the most average person is about 28%. So 3 out of 12 months of the year, every dollar that you earn goes to the government, and the government uses it to bomb people. Kitty! Dr. Gray. You scared yourself by knocking the bottle over? Grayson says, fuck the chat. It's cat time. Bring me my mic back, buddy. No, let's not push that again. Wings, Hamas is hiding hospitals, schools. It's their fault. Israel can't do anything about that. And like I said, Hamas is a pile of shit, right? Using civilians as cover is fucking dog shit. But the bigger person, right, should have to look at this and be like, yo, we're not going to bomb innocent civilians. And then, like, create, like, I don't know, like, for example, let's use the refugee camp, for example, right? You could very easily go into the refugee camp with the military, surround it, right? And then start getting people out of the camp. And you go through and you check every single one until you find the person you want. Or when he sees that you're doing this, he starts to try to run and get out the camp and has a gun. Boom, there, done. Now you don't have to drop a 500-pound smart bomb and kill children. Right? Is that irrational? What if the whole place is rigged to explode? It will be if you drop a smart bomb on it. It's easier said than done. When you don't try, it still makes you look like a dickbag. If you tried to limit civilian casualties and you're obviously making efforts in an attempt to limit civilian casualties, I wouldn't have an issue as much as I do now. But the fact is, they bombed a refugee camp and then the next day bombed it the fuck again, just in case they missed him the first time. There was no trying to not have civilian casualties. And like somebody looked at me like I was stupid a couple weeks ago when I said, like, Israel looks forward to when Hamas attacks them. Because when Hamas gives them a reason to use full force, they greet grief with a smile. They're happy it happens because it gives them a reason not to have a ceasefire and that they can bomb them into the fucking oblivion. I don't think a ceasefire is the correct call, John Bono. Here's why. Calling a ceasefire right now would mean that Hamas continues another 10 years. They'll live in and amongst the crowd on the Gaza Strip. I say you have to get rid of Hamas now, right? You go through, you get rid of it now. But the route that they're going to do it at right now is fucking deplorable. Like I said, what I suggested said, like, I know Hamas is like 1% of the population, but you very easily could just go into the Gaza Strip and go building by building and slowly comb the entire area, get rid of munitions, get rid of bomb caches, supplies, things like that. It'd take a lot of money and manpower, and you'd probably lose some lives. But you won't be out here in the fucking history books as like Israel slaughtered fucking Palestinian children because they wanted to. Here's the simple thing, right? And you might look at me like I'm an idiot here, right? Israel can have Gaza at any time they want to have it. Palestine does not have the support, the weapons, or the training to stop the IDF from taking anything they want to take. So anything that they have is given with Israel's blessing, for lack of a better word. There isn't a actual conflict. It's not like Palestine can like keep their land with threat of violence. They're just outnumbered. New title: When Idiots Speak. What have I said that's idiotic? What have I said that's idiotic? What would you do differently? What's up, Trucker Logic? Cogface, I don't know what happiness is, dude. Nicholas Newberry. I mean, there's tons of DTR videos out there. There's lots of guys that make good DTR content. Where would they go? You don't have to refugee them. What I'm saying is, you go through every building in Gaza, and you get rid of the weapons, and at that point, you let people go back to their fucking homes. Little Dick Dean, no, my eyes, I'm good, buddy. Well, I dogma. Is terrorists are. I'd rather have a terrorist armed with a rock than a missile launcher. Well, like I think a lot of people just get upset for the reason they just get upset. It's like politics. Like you ever go on anything, and it'll be like they'll blame every situation on Joe Biden. Like I see this all the time. Like I follow a lot of car stuff. Like I'm a big Chevy Silverado guy. I know a lot about Chevy Silverados. So like I stay in areas where like I can bestow my knowledge onto other people, right? And in truck groups, there always will be this old white man that will come out and be like, I had to put $80 into my Chevy Silverado just the other day. I had to go into the cab of my truck and put a Joe Biden sticker right on the pump. And it's like, I know I should never do it, but they get me every now and then where I have to explain to them that Joe Biden doesn't have the pull that you think he has with gas companies. Right? Like, it's like explaining to people that inflation is a problem all across the world because we live in a world market now. And it isn't because Joe Biden issued more stimulus checks, which Trump also issued stimulus checks, right? But it had more to do with COVID-19. It had to do with like shipments not going out. And the fact that there's more money than there are products to buy with that money. So when there's less product, you pay more for each said product. And the way to counterbalance this is you increase interest rates, which makes everything more expensive. And gas, on top of all this, get down, buddy boy, isn't done by America either, right? Like, America, for the most part, has some of the cheapest gas in the fucking world. If you go buy gas in London, which I've had to do that, it's astronomically higher in London than it is in South Carolina. And that's not Biden's fault either. Biden has no control over the gas prices in London. But people want to think one-sided. They want to think small. Stop, Dr. Gray. Stop. He wants attention. He hears me talking. Yeah. Come on, dude. I love you, but it isn't Dr. Gray time. What age when you stopped being a redneck? Oh, probably about 25. I was in YouTube. I was still in YouTube when I was a redneck. I fully believe Trump is about to win the presidency again, which I look forward to it. Not so much that I think Trump is going to do a wonderful job, but at least it'll be more fun than the Biden presidency. Because Biden ain't did shit either. Like, Trump didn't do shit, Biden didn't do shit. At least Trump's presidency was fun. Yeah, like you see Trump just not knowing what the fuck to do most of the time. Yeah, funny. Like, it's funny to watch. We already ate ice cream. Come on, dog. We an hour in. That ice cream didn't stand a chance. Motherfuckers act like one guy with 33% of the power can control the whole country, right? Like, he has 50% of the veto power. He has 33% of the legislative power. It doesn't mean shit. Like, being the president means you're the face of a country. It's like having a mascot. It's like saying that the Phillies get a better Philly fanatic, that they'll win more games. No, it doesn't. No, I'm sick, man. Dog. Stop. You're just a hellion today, buddy. Get out. Get out. I don't know about all that. I know this. Don't get mad at politics. Because at the end of the day, none of that shit fucking matters. None of it. What you think matters doesn't matter. And the reason that is because, like, I've seen Democrats, Republicans of all ilks come through as an adult, and none of them's ever changed my life. I would actually suggest the fact that Trump is getting charged with more shit means he's more likely to win. Because it's gonna invigorate the Trump voting base to get out there and vote harder. I ignored 2 of your donations. Let's go see. Fan funding. Biden and his cabinet decisions caused inflation. I just talked about that. No, they didn't. Inflation was caused by COVID-19 and supply chain issues. You got, like, look at it this way, right? There was a period in this country where, like, automakers couldn't make cars because they couldn't get computer chips. Right? So that meant that they displaced something along the lines of $25 billion worth of used car inventory. That's not going to happen because they couldn't sell used cars. And then you had like that ship that got stuck in the Panama Canal. You had COVID-19, which set back everybody not buying anything. You shut down the economy for like a month. Like all this is catching up to us, and the only way to counteract inflation is to raise interest rates. But when you raise interest rates, it means that the cars that are made, which at the same fucking time you had billions of dollars funneled into like car companies to make EVs, which are starting to back out of. I'll take your rights now. That electric vehicles aren't going to work in the long run. I said that shit 3.5 years ago. But yeah, but like again, inflation's happening everywhere in the world, not just America. So like, how is it Biden's cabinet and his fault that inflation's happening? Like, jobs are not paying more. Well, that's a product of capitalism, not a product of Joe Biden's fault. Like, all Joe Biden could do is raise the federal minimum wage. And the way he raised the federal minimum wage, he has to have the other 66% of government to agree with him to raise minimum wage. He can't force your job to pay you more, right? Because America works on like an open market system. DeSantis is already out of the race, dude. Why are you even talking about DeSantis? DeSantis is walking around with fucking leg lifts on. Have you guys seen this shit? Dude, man has boots that don't have any type of toe in them because he's really 5'8" and he wants to pretend to be 5'11". Yeah, let me show you this shit right here. Pop over here. Like look at the feet right here. No toes are in those boots right there. Let's see if we can find something else. Like here's a closer look. His toe is right here, and you can see his foot goes up. Let's see it. There's a picture that somebody used to highlight. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here's one right here. Like you can see, like here's him sitting down. He's noticed the shoe and the toe, and this is where somebody outlined where his foot would actually be. He's literally walking in 3-inch fucking heel lifts to try to make himself seem taller. Don't hate the player. That's the cost to get women. I don't think he's trying to get a woman. I think he's married, but he wants to seem like he's a big, strong man because politicians seem to think that if they're big, strong men, people will vote for them. Like, all it's going to take is Trump to point out that the motherfucker's got heel lifts on and he's done. They'll laugh him right off fucking stage. The friend zone doesn't exist, Green Ranger. Am I a fire ant sympathizer? Want the girl to notice your heels once you get home from the club. Yeah, what you do is once you take her eyelashes and sports bra off or Wonder Bra, just be happy who you are, man. No, why would I hate you, Nicholas? No, dude, I don't go out the house. I just remember you won that fight. I've won almost every fight I've ever been in. But like, that's not saying anything because I like if I'm in a real life fight, I cheat. And the only like sanctioned fight I had against was Boogie, which I'm guessing I cheated there too because I actually was worried about losing, so I actually trained and he didn't. Matt, I didn't ignore you, dude. I've hit you 4 or 5 times. Thank you for the donations, Matt. Well, I just don't see fighting as something that I don't see fighting as something that's beneficial to me in real life, right? Like if you get me to the point where I'm ready to fight you, I'm ready to hurt you, right? Like to get me to fight you, you're gonna have to put me in fight or flight, right? You're going to put me in a situation where like I feel like I'm backed in a corner and I'm going to do anything in my power to not die, right? What if I wanted a fucking LA-10? I mean, I don't. Dude, I'm working out, dressing better. Here's this red pill shit. All right, gentlemen, take your wallets. Your wallet's gonna be look like this, right? Take it, close that bitch, right? Let me tell you something about red pill. You can lift all the weights you want. You could buy the most expensive clothes that you can possibly afford. You can brush your teeth. You can comb your hair. But if you're still fucking creepy as shit, women ain't gonna fuck with you. You need to have a personality. Like, do women prefer tall men? Yes, but that's asterisk, right? Women prefer men taller than them. If a woman is 5'2", you can be 5'9" and she will date you. You don't got to be 6 foot. The issue is a lot of women fall between 5'5" and 5'8", and they want the 6 foot man because they want that gap. They want you to feel physically larger than them. But like this whole red pill, like plating a girl and lifting weights and like having 3 or 4 girls on the side and this is how you sleep with 4 women a year bullshit. Like, no, don't be a good person. Treat women with respect. Treat them as human beings. And don't be fucking crazy, right? If you smell like shit and your hair is greasy, take a bath, wash your hair. right? You can fix those things. What you can't fix is going on a date and talking about fucking anime or like your Discord account or, you know, your right wing politics or left wing politics. Like, women don't care about that stuff. They don't. Like, you know what women care about? Where's your aspirations? Where do you want to be? Like, how, like, do you have a game plan? Like, you don't have to have money. You just got to have, you got to have the ability, you got to have the desire to want more than you have, right? Like, you got to want to build, right? Because there's a lot of women out there that are willing to build with you. And you might not believe this or not, but some women get comfort knowing that you need their help to build. Because if a woman feels like she's not needed in a relationship, she'll either sleep around on you or she'll just lose interest in you. Because people need to feel needed, right? And it's just a part of who we are. It's a very complex situation, but they all boils down to is be a good human being. Do your hygiene, try your best, but you don't have to be a fucking Chad to get women. That's not true. Saying women don't build, they pick men by looks or beta providers is 100% false. Like, the only women that are like that are women you don't want in your life to begin with. Period. Like, if a woman is going to down you with those standards, let me tell you a story. You guys, how many people are here familiar with Trevor Bauer? Like, he's a pitcher. He was a major league pitcher for the Dodgers. Trevor Bauer met this girl on Instagram. Her name was Lindsay Ellis. No, that's not her name. Lindsay Hill. Lindsay Hill. Lindsay Hill. And her whole goal was to get that bag. And that kind of woman is a shitty woman. She cost him his $300 million Dodger contract. He's now pitching in Japan. And he didn't do anything. Like, she claimed that he raped her and he beat her up and all these things. And he has evidence. He has pictures of her, like, hanging out the next day without any kind of bruises or scrapes on her. And he's blackballed from the MLB right now because of this. Grayson, stop. Stop. If a woman doesn't want to date you because of something superficial like that, you don't need that woman in your life to begin with. Seek good quality women, man, and know what a good quality woman looks like. And looks aren't everything in the market. You should be attracted to your partner. But does she need to be an LA 10? No, she doesn't. I mean, like, look at Boogie's case. Boogie's got that narcissism thing going. Like, Boogie has that whole incel vibe where, like, he only wants to date women that are, like, super attractive that other men find attractive as well. Blah, 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 blah. Like, if you are a, Arkansas 6, big 400-pound Boogie ain't got time for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I always found odd about Boogie's relationship is that when he introduced his girlfriend Desiree to, like, his internet persona, he started out with her being an OnlyFans girl, and to me that screams Boogie is so insecure about himself that he only can see himself with a female that if he's paying her. Because people think I'm fucking around when I said Boogie would literally, like, as a $1 bill, but like let's pretend this is like $100 bill, right? Boogie would literally be walking around being like, You're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in this whole room. And I walked up to Boogie's ass and I'm like, dog, how did you find the 9 most beautiful women you ever seen at the fucking weigh-in event of your boxing match? You know, it's like, damn, son. Like, this is how Boogie, that's Boogie's game, dog. Like, it's fucking sad. He had it. Like, Boogie was married to a good woman. And it fell apart because, and it's supposed to because of, almost entirely because of Boogie's narcissism. By the way, Max Dyer's donation is about to fall off. Max, dude, thank you again for the $105. Appreciate that love, buddy. Like, Boogie's first wife, she helped to do Francis videos. She was his camera girl. She helped keep everything up. She did all the bills. She controlled all the money. And Boogie kind of pushed her away. And it's like, Boogie had a good woman. Like, sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do to keep a good woman. I don't know why he pushed her away. I'm not privy to Boogie's, like, former marriage, like, internal affairs. All I can do is outside looking in. Oh yeah, Kelly's 100% a good woman. Like, Kelly's better than I deserve. What do you think of the people's opinions? Well, people don't know shit because, like, Kelly's family has a whole farm. Like she will always have a roof. Like, Kelly literally sold her house to come be with me. Like, she had a piece of land, her own house, the whole nine. And like, if something were to happen and me and Kelly broke up, she would go right back there and they'd give her a place to stay. Dude, George Bush presidency was a fucking travesty. I don't know if you guys remember. You might not be old enough. I remember when George Bush, when we first started invading Iraq, George Bush was all like, the people of the Mujahideen, might have been Al Qaeda, run, we will find you. We will go and stop at nothing. And now the camera pans back and it says, now watch this drive. Now, and then he like hits the golf ball. Yeah, the mission accomplished speech and shit like that. It's like, come on, dude. Let's see if I can find that on YouTube real quick.
We must.
All right, pop it over here.
We must stop the terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Fuck. Oh. Hell of a drive. I never understood like what is it with like presidents in golf? Shoe being thrown at him. Dog, like people eat that shit up though. Like people love that shit. You ever realize that America's like founded on this like foundation of like we're free, but we're actually not? Like take land property taxes for example. Like property taxes is by far one of the easiest examples I could use. But my property taxes have went from $200 a year to $1,700 a year in the span of the last 5 years. So it went from like a $200 bill once a year to $1,700 once a year. And my land's completely paid for. My land's been paid for 4 generations of my family. Like, my land was paid for back in like 1965 or some shit like that. So like, there's not been a note on the land that I live on for a long fucking time. And so if I was not to give $1,700 to the local government, they will happily send somebody to my house to either steal my land, beat me up, shoot me, and or kill me, depending on how I interact with them stealing my land. How is that free? How is that free? Like, I watched a video the other day of a guy sleeping in his car in a public park. He wasn't even sleeping. He was just like, he was sitting in his driver's seat with a pillow behind his head watching a movie on his dash, on his phone. And an officer comes up and asks him to move. But before the officer moves, the officer wants to run him through the ID thing. You know, like he wants to give you the ID, blah 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 blah. They want to run you through the system to see if they can score them a hit. That's what they want to do. That's all they really care about. But because this man didn't want to give him an ID and just move on and go somewhere else, this cop breaks 5 of his ribs and gives him fucking brain trauma because he didn't give him his ID. It's like, how does the punishment fit the crime with something like that? Do politicians get people killed? I mean, like, let's take Hillary out of it. Yes, the answer is yes. Politicians do get people killed. Like, you remember that video we just watched of George Bush with that nice ass smooth drive he did? How many people do you think had their home blown up, car run over by an Abrams tank, and were just shot dead through the choices that man made while he was golfing? We just watched it, Steady. You can go back in the thing. It's like this whole Israel-Palestine thing. I can see through this shit. What they're right now trying to do in Iraq right now with Iran. 100%. They want to get American troops into Israel, deal with Israel's little, religious war problem, and then attack Iran and use Israel as a home base to attack Iran. That's what they want to do. They're already trying to say that Iran is the people that are supplying Hamas with weapons. They're already doing it. And the crux of all this is they want oil. They want oil. The reason we attacked Iraq, because Saddam Hussein wanted to change Iraq's oil from the USD to the euro. Grayson, why do you hate me? You see I'm here trying to stream, right? U.S. is creating a bunch of jobs just from these wars. If you wanted to create jobs, there's ways to create jobs. Like, for example, like you could be slowly turning our cities away from the automobile and more into like bicycle paths, kind of like in Netherlands. And you could be like hiring people to do road work and train them with the money that you're going to spend creating a war effort in Iran. Right? That's how you create jobs and create a better society, because like we're going to have to move away from ICE vehicles. But right now our cities are designed around cars. And we need to move away from that and into a city that's more designed with walking paths, bike paths, and an infrastructure that's designed around getting from one place to another without the use of a car. Yeah, cars are probably going to be needed in America forever. But, like, you shouldn't need a car to go a mile down the road, right? Because, like, if, like, right now it's a pain in the ass because, like, you got to walk down the sidewalk, go to the crosswalk, wait for the cars, go blah, 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 blah. Go look at a place like the Netherlands. Like, there's cars on the road, but 70% of everybody there is on bikes. Like, for example, like I'm gonna use this for example because I used it in a video one time. This is old, but Detroit, which is still in a pile of shit, right? Detroit's one of the worst cities in the United States. Detroit has this issue with like wild dogs and like street lights being out and lower property values. So instead of like paying money to like train people to be dog catchers or to train somebody to change street lights or even buying street lights to put in and change, Detroit decided to invest into a new stadium for the Detroit Red Wings. This can't be made up, right? Like, how is a city that, you know, nobody wants to live in because there's no jobs and the housing market is fucking in shambles, feel like instead of investing in making housing and property values going up and making the city nicer for everybody to live, they think that a sporting event will bring them more money. It's like, it blows my mind. Like, you could really take some of the people that are unemployed and train them to be dog catchers, and you get rid of your wild dog problem. You could literally buy lights and train people to go change the lights. You could pay people to clean up trash around the city. You could give them a good income and health care. You could make people want to be there and start a family, create pride. Like, a lot of cities forget about that. You should want to be proud of where you live at. And the more you make somebody proud of being there, the less likely they're going to throw trash out the road or want to fuck it up. Ludi, dude, we've got $181 in donations. We're good. I must not know how tax dollars work, I know that everything I just said could have been paid for by the tax money that was funneled into a Detroit Red Wing stadium. Yeah, you're going to do that, Ben John. Because you know what? People that are like the Detroit, like I'm a Braves fan, right? I would be a Braves fan if Fulton County Stadium was still where they played at. I thought Turner Field still had some years left in it. Is Truist Park big and nice? 100% it is. But I don't feel like it was needed. It's like going to Truist Park to me is a super expensive allocation. It's not something I'm going to do regularly. Like Detroit Red Wing fans are going to go to Detroit Red Wing games. Well, Dr. Gray taxes me all the fucking time. We have this box in our house. Dude takes a fucking shit and piss in it. And then I got to go clean it up. You know what the worst part about this whole endeavor is? After I clean it up, I got to take the trash to the fucking dump. And then I got to pick up more litter to put in his box. So not only do I have to clean his poop and pee up, I also have to pay for him to have a spot to poop and pee. Grayson taxes the shit out of me. Let's not talk about Whiskers or Temptations treats or how my man loves his gravy. So he don't want to get the regular fancy feast. He needs the gravy lovers fancy feast. No, I'm not listening to music right now. I mean, Grayson's here. I couldn't name Taylor Swift albums. My favorite Taylor Swift song is Cardigan Go. Dog, I got a Shih Tzu and she is not a picky eater. She'll eat shit and then vomit up. She'll eat shit she's not supposed to eat, then go vomit. When they were young, we assumed you knew nothing. I knew you. That ain't your dog. No, I can get my dog. Bailey, come here, baby girl. She's asleep. Give her a second. What's the deal with the fire ants? I feel you. I'm kind of getting sleepy, but I'm like, damn, I've only done an hour and a half. Trying to make at least 2 hours. It's 3:30 in the morning. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Ludi. I don't know what those words you just used are. You guys ever see those Watcher of Realms commercials? Grayson. You make it so easy to type, buddy. Trying to find the one I'm thinking about.
I'm not expecting much. Oh, we actually got an epic. I actually got
Need to ensure the safety.
I can't find the commercial I want to find. But like, there's basically like commercials that are like dudes pretending to be live streaming and getting happy when they get pulls in there's fucking Watcher of Realms games. Yeah, those. Who has the bigger hog, you, me, or Boogie? Well, I've never had a woman give up sex work after I bought her $1,000 purse and gave her $2,500. I'm just gonna put it out there. Just putting it out there. How the fuck did I get 600 viewers? Maybe I should go talk about Watcher of Realms more. I have no clue. Like, this shit ain't gonna last anyway. Because, like I'm not being entertaining right now. Have you heard when she was 20, I laughed she can't even drink yet? My question is, like, she gonna look back at this period of her life and be like, what the fuck did I do? No. Desiree's 20. Like, his current girlfriend. They're not married. Yeah, she's 20. Think about it this way. Boogie has been doing YouTube longer than I have. So Boogie's been doing this shit about 17 years. So when Boogie was sitting down at his desk to create his YouTube channel, his girlfriend was 3. 3. Couldn't imagine YouTube 17 years ago. It wasn't that bad. It's about the same as today. Little kids getting on the microphone saying they go fuck your moms. And shit like that. And then you, instead of like just laughing with your boys, you upload it on YouTube with no polish. What part of what I just said, Philly Bats, was me talking shit? Like, what part did I insult his girlfriend? Other than the fact that I said Boogie sat down and created his YouTube. His current girlfriend was the age of 3. None of that is an insult. That's all facts. Dylan Moore. I don't know where you live at, bud, but it's currently 3:31 a.m. And Phase 5 is here about to start. And the fire ants are coming for you. They're already working their way into the walls of your house as we speak. You know too much about your overlords. And you're going to go get and turn on your blender or something to make you a nice smoothie. And that shit's going to short circuit and put you on the floor. And while you're out there stunned, that's when they're going to attack. You're going to be swarmed by a fucking infantry of army fire ants. They're going to bite you and fill your body with so much venom. It's going to be a horrible death. And you bring this onto yourself. Why are you sitting here talking all this fire ant trash in my chat? John, we all know Wendy was given Wendy's when she was at 20. Checking your walls at the moment. You guys ever see the movie Phase 4? Like, Phase 4 was fucking... Like, it was one of the very first, like, Mystery Science Theater 3000 movies I've ever seen. I've never actually sat down and watched it without MST3K commentary over it. But I always thought it was an interesting concept of, like, ants being an otherworldly being. Would I fight a crocodile to save Kelly's life? Yes. Crocodiles are actually... Well, crocodiles and or alligators are surprisingly easy to defeat if you're on land. Like, in water, you're pretty much fucked. What video game do you want turned into a movie? Skyrim. I've always said that Skyrim should be turned into a movie, but the movie shouldn't be about the Dovahkiin, right? Like, the movie should be told in, like, the POV of, like, a Stormcloak soldier or, like, an Imperial soldier, and, like, you see the Dovahkiin come in and out. Like you'll see, like, the Dovahkiin fight a dragon in, like, the middle of Windhelm or some shit like that. And, like, you see the tale through the eyes of somebody else. That way you're not actually getting to know the Dovahkiin. He seems like a mystery. And, like, the whole movie, it could be a movie or a TV series, and they talk about the Civil War that's happening in Skyrim. And you have, like, actual information, like, you have characters and stuff, and you follow the Civil War in the Skyrim itself. And then every now and then the Dovahkiin shows up, you know, and then you see, like, a guy's almost about to be killed, and then it's like Fus Ro Dah, and then, like, all these soldiers, like, flying through the fucking air in, like, some kind of cave shit and get whipped into the fucking stalactites. And this guy's just, like, cutting them down and, like, casting conjuring spells. And, like, and it's boom, he's gone into the cave. And, like, you're just there with dead bodies and shit. Because, like, he's supposed to be, like, this being of otherworldly power. And you can't make him the main character of your movie. You know what I'm saying? I thought they did well with The Witcher. At least the first season. I only watched the first season. I heard it got worse. You'd rather see an Elden Ring movie? Dog, I to this day don't know what the fuck Elden Ring is about. Like, some reason there's like a god. I don't know what the Elden Beast is about, but like he shows up at the end of the game. There's the two people that's like boy or girl that I don't know. I've gotten the platinum. I don't know what the fucking game's about. I know all the people that you beat are like the shard bearers are like children of like Radaman or whatever the fuck their name is. Hey, take me to church. Love you too, buddy. I think this is botting, honestly, because like I had 22,000 people watching me on the Boogie stream, and like it still isn't at 22,000 views. It's at 21,000, like 5 days later. Hey, cool. Good on Blade. I don't know. Like, John, like some people would bot my channel just to try to report it for botting. But like I'm actively not botting anything, because like here's the thing, it says there's 1,000 viewers here, but no new people are coming over here talking. Like they this is the first time they've been into the stream or anything like that. Like let's do something, right? I got it on subscriber for 5 minutes right now. Let's turn it off. Let's see if any new people come on. Hello. Lone Survivor. Hey, Wings, will you ever rematch Syndicate? Also, when you're on PKA again, also, I mentioned Lone Survivor is my username, but which it may be, but I am Deathblade. Can you link your YouTube channel? Just put your YouTube channel in there. It won't show up for anybody but me and the mods, so it might look weird, but just link your YouTube channel. I want to see if I can unban you, Lone Survivor. Well, Bale has been here. He's donated already. Hey, Ghost Rider. How many people are here because of an algorithm? Colors Pencils, motherfucker, you're always here. See, what actually happened is the Fire Ant overlords knew I knew their plan, and this is a power move by them. Oh, we had 260 people for like 2 hours, and then it just went boop, 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 boop. In the span of 10 minutes. It went from 200 to 900, and in 20 minutes 200 to 1100. T man, I sold my guns already, man. Some reacts. What would you guys want me to react on? The gig is up. What gig is up, good old JR? You want me to you want me to react to Two Girls, One Cup? Have you seen it yourself? My reaction will probably be similar to yours. My whole thought with like Two Girls, One Cup is like, what have you had to be doing in your life that somebody could come up to you and be like, hey, I'll give you $20,000 to eat shit out of a cup, but you gotta do it with another girl. Think you can do that? And you're like, yeah, I could do that. Like, how bad you gotta be off? Like, you gotta be down bad, dog. You gotta be like on your knees in the carpet in the fucking room that you're getting the offer in, looking for in case somebody drops some crack. You have no clue if crack's ever been in that fucking carpet, but you on your knees searching for it. So just combing the carpet. You think DSP would ever eat shit out of a cup for a Hogan pull? How'd you get banned again, John? What do you say in DSP's room that you're mod in my room? And I'm way easier. I'm way more ban heavy than Phil is. Shit, you thought that was hard. What, you ever seen Three Men and a Hammer? Dog, Fanta out of a cup fucking sucks ass as well. My favorite movie is actually a horror movie, which is Alien. But you asked me what my favorite horror movies are. I love isolation horror. So like, if I had to like list like horror movies that everybody should watch, they're not going to be like philosophical or anything. Like the 1991 remake of Night of the Living Dead with Tony Todd is like one of my all-time favorite horror movies. I like Cube. Cube is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. Some other like, I like Altered. Altered was a good movie. Like, I love like single set piece like like dichotomy like things. Like, I love watching people like fall apart on screen. Like, there's recently a movie I liked a lot, which I wouldn't really consider it a horror movie, but it's called Nefarious, and it almost entirely takes place in like a conjugal visit room. Cube had 3 shitty sequels. Ooh, The Thing. The Thing is fucking good, but I think everybody's seen The Thing. Like, I hate giving like I hate giving recommendations of movies for things that I expected people to see. But if you've never seen John Carpenter's The Thing, it's one of the best horror movies ever made. Scratch that. One of the best movies ever made. Period. John Carpenter's The Thing. I've seen the Human Centipede. It sucked ass. Like, the Human Centipede was not an interesting story. Interesting concept, but, like, didn't give a fuck about the characters for the most part. Shining, but that's another isolation movie. Terrifier, it sucks. Like, somebody wanted me to go see Terrifier 2 when it came out. And so I went and watched Terrifier 1. And, like, other than, like, the clown being a cool costume concept, it's not that great of a movie. Like it's one of those movies that are trying to be a gore movie. Like, the dude, like, cuts a woman in half and shit like that. I'm like, all right, I've seen this in Bone Tomahawk. You know, and then, like, the second movie, he starts fighting, like, angels and shit like that. I'm like, this character's not this interesting. Thinner was a good movie. I actually like the Blair Witch Project too. Like,
How about Oculus?
I liked Oculus. She's saying Oculus because that's the first movie I went on with her on a date. You know, we went to see The Mule as well.
We did go see the mule. What's your point? You're trying to make sure that I know that we at least went to 2 movies while we were dating?
Yeah. Dog, I remember Cloverfield vividly because I was working at Met Glass when Cloverfield came out, and, like, I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, and I was, like, really fucking tired of working, and I was kind of lonely. And so I had a day off. I actually requested a day off the day Cloverfield came out because I wanted to go see the movie. Because back when Cloverfield was, like, getting a push, I couldn't find the Cloverfield monster. I was looking all over the internet for the Cloverfield monster, trying to find, and, like, the only one I found was basically looked like Sin from Final Fantasy X. So, like, I was so curious because they did such a good job at hiding what the Cloverfield monster looked like. So I remember getting the day off of work. I went to this Italian place that was, like, right in front of the theater, and it was the worst Italian place I've ever been to in my life. I remember I ordered portobello stuff, mushrooms, and every chair on every table was different. Hey, Lone Survivor. The problem with Lone Survivor channel, what does the picture look like? I wish it would allow me to, like, just go to your channel from here. But I remember that vividly because the meal sucked ass too, and that place failed with, like, 2 months. But I remember I went and sat down in Cloverfield, and there was, like, this. It ended up being a guy, but it looked like a girl. Like, this guy had, like, long brown curly hair, and, like, he conditioned it well. And I remember being like, damn, I wish I had a girl to go see this movie with. Ever seen The Collector? I probably have, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. So do I dislike found footage? I don't dislike it. Like, I think the Blair Witch Project is a very well made found footage movie, and I think Paranormal Activity 1 is a very well made found footage movie. There's really good ones done. Like, you can also go like Last Broadcast, which some people say Last Broadcast is the first found footage movie. It's about the Jersey Devil, but it's really not. Has a twist at the end I'm not going to give away. But, like, I feel like a lot of the found footage movies just don't do enough. Like, for example, like, any of them that take place inside of, like, an asylum. There's like a bunch of movies that just take place inside of like an insane asylum, and like I was like, this sucks. Do you think, hey Pimp, do you think you would fight DSP? If DSP wanted to fight for money, I would 100% fight DSP. Mango Slice, say hi to Kelly for you. Kelly, Mango Slice says hi. Josh, when your phone went off, was it a part in the car? The Mist is a fucking great movie. I didn't go to see it in theaters, but I wish I did. Because, like, if you guys never seen Stephen King's The Mist, excellent fucking horror movie. Kelly.
Yeah.
Mango Slices said hi.
Hi.
Hey,
What's happening?
hey, Bailey. You didn't come when I asked you earlier today.
Was she protecting mommy?
Could be.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Night, baby girl. See, I'm not a huge fan of slashers. Like, when I was younger, I liked them. But now, like, something being a slasher movie isn't enough for me. Like, I'd much rather watch something like Sinister than a slasher movie. Which Sinister kind of is a slasher movie. But, like, there's just so much creepy shit in that movie. And, like, Ethan Hawke did such a good job, like, portraying, like, that dad that was, like, level-headed but kind of nefarious. And, like, to this day, I remember, like, the dudes being tied to, like, the pool chairs with, like, duct tape and slowly pushed into the pool. And I don't know why, but that bothers me on, like, a fundamental level. Like, watching this kid, like, push his family into the pool, and then they do the cut back and you see Bagul, like, sitting down in the bottom of the pool. It's like I think this was yesterday where I said, like, Saw is only good the first movie. Like, the original Saw 1 is the only movie that I watched in theaters twice. Because it was so fucking good. I remember when Saw came out with Ju-On, The Grudge, at the same time. And it was like, it blew my mind. Because I remember the first time I watched Saw 1, like, I was trying to figure out who the killer was, like, as the movie was happening, and it was such a fun experience. And then like, I went and seen Saw 2 in theaters, and I was like, nope, not again, not happening, because Saw 2 sucked ass. I don't care what you say, Saw 2 was terrible, and like, I've seen Saw 3 at this point, but it's like they're trying to shoehorn everything in and try to milk every dollar out of this fucking franchise. That thing should have been one movie. If Saw stayed one movie, fine. Is there an MST3K movie I liked unironically? Yes, actually. I think Space Mutiny is actually a good movie. I think Alienator was a fucking good movie. I think Alienator was probably better than Space Mutiny. Laser Blast is an actual good movie. There's some other ones. Didn't they do Food of the Gods? I want to say they did Food of the Gods, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But, like, I legitimately like Food of the Gods. God, there was one, I forgot the name of it, but, like, this was the joke. There was one movie where, like, it was about beekeepers, and like one of the women's that was married to like one of the beekeepers like smoked cigarettes all the times, and then like later on in the movie like she has to run from the bees, and they're like, I didn't know cigarettes had so many vitamins and minerals, and I don't know why, but that fucking killed me when I was a kid. Ouija 2, like, if I remember correctly, Ouija 2, who made Ouija 2? It was a different studio. Who was the director? Mike Flanagan. What did Mike Flanagan, I want to say he did Oculus. That's right. We just talked about how I liked Oculus. Mike Flanagan, who did Oculus, did Ouija 2. And like he's like a guy that came from YouTube. Ludi, what happened is like all the bots left. Like it says I have 512 viewers on my concurrent viewers, and it has 225 on the other one. Like you click over here, like it says 512 here, but 225 here. And he's like boop, 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 and then like slowly the bots just like you can see these are bots, right? Like 1,300 viewers at 354, 355. I'm at 261. It's dumb. I don't know. The 20,000 viewers were 100% bots, because like you could tell that that I still haven't got 22,000 views on a stream. I had 22,000 viewers. Like for example, this, like I've had 2,111 people come through this stream. I read the book Gerald's Game. Isn't that the Stephen King book? Where like he like the woman is like handcuffed to a bed, and her husband's like having an affair with her, and like she kicks him in the face or something, and he dies a heart attack. And then she's just tied to the fucking bed, and nobody's coming for help. Yeah, talking about Gerald's Game. I'm probably gonna try to lay back down and go back to sleep here soon. Not a bitch, my nose is fucking with me. I never understood the appeal of Marvel. It's like, why do people want to see superheroes? Never heard of that breed, dude. All right, boys. I want to thank our bud Max again for the $100 donation. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Max, for $105. Thank you, Little Dick Dean. Thank you, JH, for the 20. Thank you, Max, for the 25. The different Max. Thank you, Lone Survivor, for the 10. I'm going to look into your channel, see if I can unban you, dude. I am Deathblade. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me tonight, keeping me company. Hope everybody had a wonderful time. I'll see you guys later today. Peace, people.